Okay, how did this affect the War Memorial Hospital?
Well, the situation in Burnham was dreadful because they'd subsisted for many, many years with a Victorian seafront with decayed concrete. It was literally, the walls were supported on concrete stilts. And with the spring tide coming in, the very, very fast melt of the snow, because the temperature was warm, that must be remembered. And of course the wall gave way. And this town is below sea level anyway. Everyone who grows up here knows that. And the water came crashing in tremendous volume. And of course, as soon as it got over the seafront, we have these interstitial streets in Burnham. It just poured straight down. And of course, it affected the Love Lane area and the hospital very, very badly.
Okay, what did the nurses have to do?
Well, the nurses, I felt very, very sorry for them because it was a crisis like no other. And the worst of it all was evacuation buildings were out of, evacuation vehicles were out of the question because the water was so high in Love Lane. So I think they had to use the good offices of people in the Saints Roads and actually to try to get these, because it's predominantly a geriatric hospital, to get these old people into shelter in slightly higher ground there.
Okay, what was the damage? What happened to the patients?
Well, the patients, as I said, though, they're very, very old. And of course it was terribly, terribly shocking. And I think the whole idea would be if you could have got vehicles in and removed them to higher ground, it wouldn't be so awful. I remember my mother, she was nurse Mary Ellen Savage, was working that night, and well, she said, you know, she's never known a night like this at all. It was dreadful.
What was the damage done by the flood exactly?
Oh, very, very bad. The usual. Love Lane flooded. And because it was so unexpected, I mean, Love Lane are well used to it. They were in sandbags, but they had no chance that night. It just came in. The Ring of Bells, now demolished, was very, very badly flooded. That's a pub in Oxford Street. It's used to that, but not onto this scale at all. This was very, very bad. And the thing was, I think the main thing to understand is the wind was so tremendous, it was impossible to actually, you know, ford the torrent to actually evacuate people. So people had to just literally stay there.
Alright.